And welcome in everybody to the Aurora Overwatch Clash Week 6 matchup between the Vancouver Villains and the Chernobyl Chinchillas. An out-of-division clash between two teams clinging for their playoff lives here as we go to the end of the season. I'll be your producer and caster Booney. Joining me is going to be the illustrious Ninja Drew 10. And Drew, an interesting game here. A lot of these, the Chinchillas making a lot of changes and the Villains kind of coming up as of late. So it should be a good match ahead of us.
It should indeed, yeah. Very excited.
Now, before we go into our game, our production head Panini did give us the playoff scenarios to discuss here with everybody. The Chinchillas, of course, having a rough start to the season here, not winning a single match so far, but they do have a chance. If they win out here, they can beat the Dongers and the Zenith to be tied for the last playoff spot in their division. Tiebreakers have a chance to impact them, such as like this game here with the out-of-division victories. So this is basically a win in your in situation here for the Chinchillas. Lose and it becomes much more difficult. For the Villains, they need a lot of things to happen in their division and a lot of things to go wrong for other teams. That's the Brawlers losing out in their last 3 games. The Villains beat the Chinchillas and the Inazuma, which is possible here. Two lower teams on our standings. The Villains, of course, coming on as of late as well. Played a lot of teams close, but they do play the numbers in the last week of the season. But if they win these first 2 games against the Villains or the Chinchillas and Inazuma, that game against the Numbies does not matter for their playoff standing. So basically, this game is important for both these teams here. And we should hopefully see a very close game between the new Chinchillas and these Villains, because Chinchillas, if you're not aware, have made some trades. They got, basically at the end of the day, they traded Booney, their tank, for Purple Jesus. So pretty big upgrade, honestly. You got a great GM player, and Purple Jesus can play basically every tank in the game. You don't have many swaps needed for your team, more consistency. And Skyster moves over to the DPS role in this situation then. What's your take on the Villains here, Drew? I want you to analyze these guys.
Well, I was, war is always a chaotic element in games. He's far less technically skilled than a lot of the other players here, but he does have quite a bit of situational awareness, and he is able to like point out things that sometimes even experienced players don't really notice, and he's always there for the chaos. I know that.
And I mean, I think in this team, he's become a great in-game communicator, kind of taking that leadership role over this new squad of the Villains. I know that they have a lot of vocal players though on the Villains. They have Yoda, they got Cupcake, some large commoners. Wither, and I know more of that silent carry kind of player, but we'll have to see. Going into New Junk City here, both their teams ready to show off what they got here for their playoff push, playoff lives, basically. Both the teams fighting for right now. And I'm probably expecting a Junker Queen mirror, potentially a Sigma from Yoda, but Junker Queen is my guess. And they're both of them. Woohoo! I love Junker Queen.
JQs. Yep. JQ, Lucio, Kiri for both teams. Then we got different DPS lines completely.
What's always interesting to me here with the Chinchillas, their new roster, they put Skystone as Genji, which is probably one of his better DPS selections. But you also have Mikey, right? Mikey can put a lot of work on this Tracer, but with the Junker Queen, honestly, I think that the Genji puts in a lot of help with that brawl scenario. Perhaps Mikey going to a Tracer or even a Sojourn here. I wouldn't mind seeing that to go up against Cupcake. Yes, it will be a Sojourn duel between these two players. Pizza Parts members going at it here. And the TPs out here from the side of the Chinchillas are going to get to the point first. Good positioning here. They have the advantage right now. Junker Queen's exchange mid position right now. We do have a lot of pressure come from Esrath on this Junkrat. Forced on an early shot from Purple Jesus right now, and the Chinchillas forced to give the space and claimed. Can't go too far in here. Susa's on both sides used. Purple Jesus falling extremely low, trying to run away. Chartron, or Skyster's going to get isolated here in the back. Does dash back to the help of the team, but Real Dog going to really compromise position. Purple Jesus in the corner. Bullied and lunch money taken there. TP out from Real Dog, tries to keep alive on point, but this might just be inevitable here, as the Chinchillas might lose out on the first cap. Villains clean this one up right now. Just kind of a last second touch here from Charbatron, but she's going to get sent back to spawn here. Maybe by her own accord, actually. Looks like she gets out.
It appeared that Purple Jesus kind of got cut out and left alone, and with that, they were able to pick off Purple Jesus and then slowly dismantle the rest of the team one by one. And then appears
I mean, losing out on your queen early is never a good sign, because especially with how good the ultimate is here, Yoda, a huge sizable advantage here in this regard. Charge shot, not gonna land from Cupcake, doesn't hit really the good slide out either. 1 HP on the point, but the Suzu is there just in time now. Cupcake fully charged on up, but Purple G's walks in with Skycer, trying to put some work in over onto Cupcake, but in the chaos, Esrath has fallen. And both DPS exchange here for the Vancouver Villains, and now it looks like it's just desperation touches on the point for the Vancouver Villains, trying to get as much progress on the point as possible. Skycer trying to take down Yoda. The point does not quite flip just of yet. 80%, and it's just Yoda supports. Potentially Chernobyl here as War has beat, but it looks like they probably won't need that here. As oh, they use the ultimate. Yoda down just 5v4 here on the point. Really nothing to use with that ultimate, and going to go down. We'll find Charbotron for their troubles, but now Esrat going to get staggered out, and the ultimates have just flipped heavily in favor of the Chinchillas.
Yeah, they have all of their ults the second that Charbotron gets back, and it's 5 ults versus 4 ults it doesn't sound like a really big difference, but it really can be. That one extra ult can really be a fight changer.
Especially when that ult is the Rampage. That can force out a Suzu and allow your ultimates to get even more value with that immortality gone. Here comes the Guillotine Rush. Here comes the Rampage. The Suzu is forced. Pearl Giz retreats to the safety of his squad, but War first to fall. And now the Guillotine Rush advantage here, as well as the Rampage, will force the Vancouver Villains to retreat for now. They are not going to want to fight this out. They didn't use any ults, though. War falling early, holds onto that beat, and now it's 3 versus 4 in the ultimate. Cupcake instead goes for the overclock on the side. Potentially awkward here. Skyster pulls the blade as well just to create some zoning for his team, more space. Basically denies that overclock from Cupcake too much value. Mikey has the overclock for himself when they decide to push on out. Yoda, very weak, forced to use that shout early, but War has the beat on top to keep us nice and healthy. Mikey goes on down, overclock finds no value. The tire out from Esrath will find Prodigy as well. It's a back and forth affair here on the point, but Esrath and Yoda might be just too much damage for Skyster to overcome here. Going back and forth, Real Dog and Charlie Fun so low. And with the trap claiming the final blow on the Genji, it is just Charbotron trying to get as much percent as possible, but she cannot. And now the point's going to flip, and 1 score here for the Vancouver Villains, but it was not easy in any regards.
Not at all. It appears that Witherin still hasn't used their Kitsune Rush, so they will have at least 1 ult going into this first fight for the capture.
And now we have the swap of Cupcake over onto the Tracer, not wanting to duel Mikey anymore on the Sojourn. See how that exactly goes, because Purple Jesus will be pretty sustainable, not too much one-shot potential from Cupcake on the Tracer. Falling low, forced to recall early as well. Huge cooldown advantage right now for the Chinchillas. Do decide to take that. It looks like PJ will claim a bit of space on top of that. Skycer on the off angle with the help of War. Mikey will get that kill over on Lucian without that speed, but with that disengage potential. Mikey just free farming down here, and another questionable Rampage here from Yoda down multiple members of the team.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Turnable here. He's found 2. The Suzu is there, but Skycer and Real Dog, just too much support there. Recall comes out here. The point did flip as well to the Chinchillas and all this. Now this stagger could be devastating if Cupcake can't get out. Cupcake is just found in the corner. And that's a free 30% here for the Chinchillas.
Yeah, and unfortunately, without Cupcake there, they can't really take this fight. So they're gonna have to wait for the Tracer to come back.
Now, what do you think the Tracer is here for? Like, there's so many sightlines here for Mikey to play with. Cupcake's find it really hard to just even get in.
Yeah, but I think what he might be trying to do is trying to at least somewhat mark Mikey and just try to keep him at least somewhat at bay. But I don't know if it's actually gonna work out, because Riddle Dog is very good at being able to turn around and help people.
The Rush Blade comes in, and Skycer with 2 with the dash. Yoda's gonna claim some bit of revenge, but the team is already falling around him. Villainy has been quelled on this point, and now it's gonna be 1-1. Going into a point 3, and a pretty clean fight with just Rush Blade there to claim the point for the Chinchillas. Going over here onto Junkyard, we are going to have the tire from Esrath as well as the Kitsune Rush from Witherin. Charbotron does have the beat advantage over War right now, but Purple Jesus, that ever-important Rampage to force out some early cooldowns could be huge, as Mike get close to overclock as well. So this will probably be a pretty slow fight between both our teams, wanting to not make that first mistake and give the advantage over here on Flashpoint. It is 1-1 right now, but very close. Purple Jesus goes in early. Cupcake falls. The Sousa does not land. The anti does not wear off, and 2 found. Esper does get one trigger on the trap, but the Suzu is there from Real Dog to keep up PJ nice and healthy. And a very clean fight there from the Chinchillas. Only using the Rampage to claim that first capture.
Very clean fight. And they're pushing ahead. Catch out S-Wrath. It is a really big stagger.
I mean, with that...
Always very good to have staggers.
With that Junkrat down, you lose kind of just the initial pressure here in the choke. Because now Pearl G is just able to play so far forward, poke a little bit more for this, as well as Geyser with the blade, try and build up towards his fight win ultimates. And now Mikey as well has this off angle up on the high ground. We do have the tire engage here. See if anything comes to that. Cupcake is in on the back line, forces out Suzu. So this tire could be massive. See if it finds anybody. We'll find two.
There it is.
A very nice tire out from the Junkrat from the Vancouver Villains. Cupcake dashes into a barrel, but stays alive with the help of the Suzu. Mikey slides on into these DMs, but gets sent right back, rejected, my friend. Cannot do anything here as Real Dog TP's out with Charlie's help.
Indeed, yeah, luckily the sports were able to escape, but that tire was really big, especially with that Suzu forced out. They were able to really capitalize on getting those 2 kills, and then able to clean up, flip the point. And now we have roughly even ults, but different kinds, especially with Yoda and his
Geyser
rampage.
falls and the Suzu is forced. It's a 3-man rampage in the back from Yoda, and now the collapse, the pincer maneuver is here for the villains. The stagger of Purple Jesus here. Chartron will try to get with her life, will not be so lucky as Cupcake hunts her down. And now with 80%, that's probably going to be the point capture here for the Vancouver Villains that they hold up.
Yeah, able. Chinchillas are gonna have to really push and get that touch if they want this point, but I don't think they're going for it.
Oh, that was a huge pull actually by Yoda onto Mikey. I think Mikey, they might have gone for a touch there, but did force out a Suzu from Real Dog to keep Mikey alive. They don't want to get staggered out. They want this early fight presence here on the next point, a flashpoint, and it is still very close. Very even in terms of ultimates as well as just overall team play. Yeah. These teams back and forth affair.
Back and forth. They are very close. Each and every fight is winnable for both teams, and it appears that like every single ult, every cooldown really matters.
Kitsune rushes into a Real Dog, but S-Rat gets the opening pick. They lose out on that. They don't have the Suzy here for the tire. Goes in. Purple Juice is again felled by the mechanical maniac that it is the Junkrat. And these staggers here are going to be devastating here for the Chinchillas. Charlie just stands still and accepts her fate. Skycer at least gives it all. Fights on the point, but it is going to flip. And just a tire for a win. That's a huge play for the villains here as we go towards their final match point potentially.
Yeah, this Purple Jesus has his Rampage, which is going to be really big, and they're coming up on they now have 4 ults going into this fight. So again with that one ult diff, this fight might go well. Oh, and
it is going to be a 1-for-1, but Cupcake now engages on it. Overclock comes out from Mikey, finds a 1. It's even fight. War in the air for this beat. Does eventually land. And with Charlatron gone, that's a huge advantage here. Witherin's 1 HP on the point. Will go down to the Rampage bleed damage. It is still very even right now. Points still in favor of the Vancouver Villains, but War trying to touch for as long as he possibly can. Yoda returning to help. Somehow War survives long enough to fend off Mikey, but it's just Yoda against the world right now. Has a shout. Will get an extra 5 or so % on the point, but will get sent back close to Rampage. Blade comes up from Skycer to try to put some pressure. They do use both Blade and Beat, and I mean, that could come back to bite them here as they now have no ults for last fight territory.
They do, yeah. They win that fight, but will it be worth it in the end? Especially with Yoda having Rampage and Witherin having Kitsune. Those 2 ults are very strong. So having no Blade or Beat to stop that, both of those are very terrifying.
See what happens here. Real Dog, very weak. Oh, the flick shot on these Kitsunes lands on the Witherin right between the eyes. And that might be a 0 ult fight victory here for the Chinchillas. They got play slow, keep Proteus alive. The Suzu comes out, but looks like Yoda going to hold the Rampage for another day. And now, it's last fight territory here for this point, and now Real Dog close to Kitsune Rush. The Chinchillas can flip this.
S-Wrath does have tire, so his tires have been very consistent, very scary.
They're trying to force out the Suzu here early for Yoda's Rampage, but Mikey does mark this tire down, but it's not going to be enough. Mikey down, Purple Jesus, 1 HP as well on the point, will fall. Yoda still has his rampage if they decide to use it, but they might hold on to it for last second testers. Throws on into the supports, forces out a TP from Rilda, but TP's right to his demise. And now it is desperation mode here. Produce over onto that wrecking ball, but it might not be enough. He'll be the only one who can touch. Mikey maybe from the side.
Gonna get that touch. PJ got the touch, but we'll see if this if the chaos fight of Mikey and PJ is able to hold on long enough.
But Prodigy is falling, makes it a little bit rougher here, but it is Mikey on the Tracer. We have seen miracles performed in the past on this character by Mikey. He's going for it right now. They're not putting too much pressure on, but Ezrath hits the target.
The rest of the team is back, but they don't have enough strength to win on their own. Oh, and the beat just to secure it.
That might just do it here for our first map of Flashpoint. Looks like that will be the case. The Vancouver Villains take our first map of New Junk City, but still very close at the end of the day. We'll see if the Chinchillas can adapt here for the next map, which is going to be a hybrid of their selection. And with that being said, after this play of the game ends up, we will go over to a map break. Don't go anywhere. Chinchillas fighting for the playoff lives after this little break. And welcome back, everybody, to the Aurora Overwatch Clash Week 6 game between the Chernobyl Chinchillas and the Vancouver Villains. We had the Vancouver Villains take on our first map of New Junk City, but now we're going into King's Row, and no swaps on either side. So no shitty fish in here on King's Row. I know all the fish heads are disappointed here, all the shifty heads, but we are just sticking with the good and true here, Vancouver Villains, so far this match.
Indeed. Both going in with the Rhine.
This is just some
man-on-man situation.
Just some honest Overwatch here, Drew. I know you're around for the back of the days of Pugs when man-on-man was a common occurrence, but with Overwatch 2, it's been a lot more difficult to get to work, but they're gonna try it. I like what I'm seeing.
Pugs, my beloved.
Oh, and speaking of my beloved, thank goodness I'm trying to spectating this game rather than watching the Twitch stream.
No. Welcome, Tim. Alright.
KR, Rhine on Rhine. You could ask for much more than this right now. Walking forward here, taking a bit of space to the wall. Not going to land there from Skycer, so advantage here goes over to the Vancouver Villains now that cooldown gone. Yoda is going to hold a bit of space here, but Skycer close to that next wall already, looking to lay it on down. See if Mike can potentially get a nice shot going on here. Proteus does fall pretty low. The wall out from Skycer, but a block forced. But we do have some space claimed here by Proteus, walking on forward here on the point. Cupcake versus Mikey over on the side. Cupcake does find the shot! And now, with the high ground claim, Yoda is down though, so the Chinchillas is bunkering up on point here with the help of the Reinhardt, but Cupcake again finds a headshot. Purple Jesus charged on in, tries to get anything done, but we do have a lot of pressure coming out right now from Cupcake over the top, looking like LeBron James, Michael Jordan, but Purple Jesus is him! No. Finds that kill over, has Shatter and 2% if they decide to need it, but it looks like Vancouver Villains are going to give it to him. Point claimed here by the Chinchillas as Pro Jesus pays for it with his life, but the point was claimed.
Point was claimed, yeah. Unfortunately, the Villains weren't able to utilize the high ground as much as they wanted, even though they had claimed it, which was really unfortunate. As the team just got split off, and without that Rhine there as the bastion of center.
An early window, but a big shatter. Lesnar and Real Dog on their backs, however. Bit of pressure coming in on both sides here. S-Rat find Real Dog, and 2 picks for the Junkrat for the Villains. Mikey does eventually find Yoda, did a little too deep there, but it looks like the Villains might be starting to back off here as they've won the fight, but they're going actually further in. Cupcake wants blood here. Does finally retreat.
Going for the blood.
But now with Yoda going a little too aggressively, they got to give a little point pressure here. As Pro Jesus has returned with the short spawns for the attackers. S-Wrath is still behind and does have this tire if they decide to use it. But looks like he'll just run on back to the squadron's help there. The wall does land and Cupcake's felled.
Oh, Cupcake.
Cupcake says wrong button.
Wrong button. Misclick.
The Blizzard comes on out here. Witherin's Immortality Field quickly dealt with. And the Chinchillas are taking this advantage here by a mile and pushing even further up.
Yeah, they are. They were able to get that lucky misinput on the part of Cupcake. That's a great equalizer. Misclicks.
You do have a lot of ultimates here if you're the Villains, though. You can't come in. It's just Mikey's overclock, but Mikey can do miracles here with this. Knife is killed immediately as Cupcake whips out the overclock. The tire coming on in from the back. They're just zoning out this main, not allowing her to do too much. The block does come out. They use the Immortality Field, but it's not there. The Real Dog takes down the tire just in time. Skycer, however, not long for this world. As now there's trying to escape here. Purple Jesus charging on out with the help of the squad. Building up Real Dog's next wall very quickly here. 80% already to it.
He is. Wow. Then we got both windows and both beats coming up, so.
And shatters. Both shatters.
And both shatters, yeah.
A nice wall comes out from Skycer. Immortality Field is invested. Yoda turns on back, but Purple Jesus cuts him off with the shatter.
The big shatter.
A huge play there from Purple Jesus with the help of Skycer's wall, isolating Yoda on up. Takes out Reinhardt out of the battle. And within as well, investing in that window, gets nothing for their troubles. And the Chinchillas now 4 minutes on King's Row Point C, where time banks go to die, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see if the Chinchillas can keep up this pace.
4-minute time bank is good, but this point is notorious for eating down time banks.
Overclock out from Mikey up on the top left, worst of the beat and the immortality field, so a good exchange of ultimates for the Chinchillas. As Mikey eventually will get withered as well. The wall not quite gonna land there. The big shatter from Yoda though! Bit of Purple G is caught with the pants down, potentially trousers on the ground. As Yoda somehow brings that back from the clutches of defeat. Snatches victory.
Yeah, that fight was almost very, very close to being lost, and Yoda just gets a massive, like, what was that? Was that 3 or 4? It was a massive shatter. Able to really, really pull that fight back.
Oh, Esrath built up 20% with 1 mine in the backline here. He's going to have this tire for this next engagement here. Overclock out from Cupcake, put in some work. The beat comes out. The Blizzard on top of it. They pin Purple G's and the tire on top of it. They do not want Purple G's to play the game. And now Ezra, without the help of the shield, is able to put in a lot of work here with the help of those tires, but will eventually fall to Skycer. But that's going to be the only consolation prize for Chinchillas. And now, as where time banks go to die, we're down to below 3 minutes.
Yeah, that was a very, very big alt trade for the villains there. They're able to take out. Oh, unfortunate, Mikey.
And with Mikey down, the Chinchillas are going to have to wait even more time here. Prior to next engage, time may be under 2 minutes. Looking dangerous. Purple just does take a little space here. Trying to swing for that shatter. Has advantage over Yoda right now. Wants to keep that. The window comes out from Real Dog. The Flame Strike, I don't know where that went. It just, like, disappeared.
I think it, like, barely clipped the payload is what it was.
And he has a shatter here and lays it down! The immortality field from the top of the boxes, though! Keeps the team up through all this pressure! Willard with a miracle positioning on top of the boxes, and now Mikey does find Ezra as he goes up for the contest. It is even right now, but Yoda pins on in and finds Jarbitron, finds a Lucio. Yoda is very weak, however, and the wall from Skycer might ice this Reinhardt, but they're too focused on this Reinhardt as the heals are going in for the help. The beat on top of it, the shatter lands on Purple Jesus. The flame strike from way downtown as well, and the Skycer's Yoda finding 2. And now, I mean, they do get Yoda, but the trade up for Real Dog and the staggers are massive here for the villains.
BJ is back to help Mikey make sure that he doesn't get spammed out with the mines. Yeah, that was very, very big shatter again. All the shatters in the game have been very near perfect.
The window up from Witherin does force some bit of spacing here for the squad. Purple Jesus alone on point. 1 HP. Purple Jesus goes on down. And from the overclock on top, Cupcake's going to find Real Dog and all of his little friends. Skycer jumps out the map to reset. And that's going to be basically last fight territory here for the Chinchillas. And what was a promising time bank has dwindled down to desperation.
Esrath is set up for a cheeky tire. We'll see if it pulls out for him.
He does force immortality field, but does not get the kill on Real Dog. Too swift with the immortality field. But they're not really going to have that cooldown. But Esrath's not going to have a life for this fight. As the Blizzard on top of it will ice it over onto Yoda. And the kills are coming in hot and heavy for the Chinchillas. Desperate times call for desperate measures, and they hit everything. And now they have 3 ultimates potentially to close this out.
War is just barely able to get out with 5 health. He is forced all the way back to the spawn room though, so no real advantage other than no death timer.
See this Pro just land the shatter. The wall comes on out. They're not going to capture with time, and the block there. However, can this be done with time? It doesn't look like it is going to eventually go away, but they do capture all 3 points in overtime as Cupcake stat padding going to hold on to that death there at the end. But the Chinchillas eventually break on through the steel curtain and capture all 3 points.
Yeah. It was looking really, really dicey there for a minute, but one really solid fight win, and they were just able to use that momentum to go all the way.
That comes down to, was Esrath potentially a little too cheeky with that tire, getting caught out there. Did force out immortality field, but couldn't get back to the squad in time, and you gotta wonder if that Junkrat was there for the fight. Does things go differently? So potentially an overplay there from the Junkrat, but he's putting in so much work on the defense. You can't blame him for having that confidence to go on forward there, but
that's what high risk, high reward plays are. If they work out, they are some of the best plays that we can ever see with giant ultimates and giant cheeky plays. But sometimes they just don't work out, and you get punished for it. Coming out, Piers, same comps, no real changes.
I mean, both teams got to be feeling pretty confident with how that things went, because you had the Chinchilla just bulldoze their way to point C, eventually getting held there a little bit longer. But then also you look at the defense side for the villains, like, oh, we held them for 5 minutes on point C, so this kind of works. So really no reason to change on either side here. Cupcake probably not going to take the win for too long here. Probably going for one shot, then a swap. Looks like he's going back to spawn already, but you always got to take the chance, right?
Yeah, you always have to, you know. That potential for a very early pick with Widow is always very strong, especially on this first point here.
Warbus, dicey position, does just get out there. Look at the dive bomber from Esrath. Where's that Mike in awkward position? It is capitalized on by Cupcake, and now the Junker on the high ground is putting in a lot of work right now. Prodigy is holding shield for as much as he possibly can, but it's not gonna be for long. The pin though, the death mines.
He takes out Ethrath, but Ethrath makes sure that he does not come with him.
Yoda? He's having a good time up here on the Mega by himself. They use the wall, but it really doesn't do too much. And now Yoda's on top of the high ground. He has Shatter if they decide to push him. He might be seeing if he can force something out, but it looks like he just... Oh, the pin from Purple Jesus!
He's caught out.
Purple Jesus got good spawn. Do they know Yoda has Shatter here? Does he lay it on down? I don't think he does here anymore. As Prodigy finds his bat tees with Rhythm gone, not too much the villains can do other than reset.
Yeah, Chinchillas are able to get that arch defense, which is always very strong choke here. It's by far one of the better places to hold here.
They did use wall early. They used wall though, so they can't hold the archway. They give the space up. As Cupcake's able to go for it, but the swing on through with the flame strike, it's a 5-man shatter from Yoda. Gets 3 with flame strikes, give him a 4th here, ladies and gentlemen. He has earned that one. Go ahead and emote there, young man. You have earned that one. Purple Jesus trying to take advantage of the flame strike through the window, gets caught, but now has a shatter return the fair potentially.
Oh, I was just about to go. Purple Jesus was about like. Taking an early lead in the fight with the window fire strike, and then that shatter came through. Oh boy, yeah, that was very well played on Yoda's part.
Now here comes a tire though from Esrath. Do they know where it's coming from? It's coming through the alleyway. Looks like the Chinchillas are gonna respect this for now. Good bit of space, but down through the mini room, they do know it's there. Can they take advantage? They cannot. They do get your material fields out, however, so it isn't done just yet. Purple Jesus has the shatter. Skycer goes on down. Purple Jesus has turns with the shatter. The pin on through. It's a one-on-one. Overclock out from Mikey. Tries to do something here. War has that. Beat the shatter. No! Dies mid-cast.
No!
And Mikey cannot touch with the overclock. Is forced to concede. And now the villains have even more of a time bank going into their point C than the villains did, or than the Chinchillas did. And they have some else to work with.
Mikey is able to take Wither and out, which sort of forces them to not really be able to push way too far up and take this fight really aggressively without their BAP. And Ethrath able to once again pick off people early.
And they're going to lose that. They have the shatter here from Yoda. Does they decide to lay it on down? Looks like he's going to hold it for a second. The beat comes through from Charbotron. Keeps the Purple G's alive in the fight. The pin-on-pin action here. Big anti from Real Dog, though, will force out an awkward position. The shadow lands on Purple Jesus as Charbotron is taken down with the charge shot. Pinning on in is going to be Yoda. He's in the back line right now. He's going to find one and continues to push forward here. Skycer in the small room. Spans no chance against the man with the giant hammer. They did find Cupcake off the back of that, but the time bank continues to be very staggering here. And the cart is almost there. See if Skycer can find anything with... Trying to put some help with the arrows here. They do get Wither now. Early Immortality Field is forced. Now the Baptiste taken down. Very awkward position for that. Baptiste jumps on in to help the team. Not too much can do there. They are forced to retreat. The villains have to concede this fight. With other BAP, not too much chance. And now the ultimates here for the Chinchillas are close to building on up.
Yeah, without that BAP and without that window, they weren't able to fully capture that point. And we'll see if they if the Chinchillas are able to hold out and do what this point is made for.
They throw down the nano on a Purple Jesus, but gets charged off, and Mikey is already down. Purple Jesus trying to build the Shatter. 5% away. One swing will do it. Has it. Does decide to lay down the pin from Yoda's in awkward position. The Shatter is huge. Finds 3. Gets the Fire Strike kill on top of it. Yoda will find 1, but the Shatter is only going to get Skies on the ground. There's no follow-up for that one. And now the Chinchillas, they're looking a lot better here. 3 minutes to go, but the time bank is again dwindling, and only a beat on the other side.
Yeah. It appears Dragons it just appears Dragon and Charvatron is coming up on our beat, and that's what the Chinchillas got. And then Villains have 3 ults coming up, so might be the difference.
Dragon comes out from Skyster, does isolate Yoda, but gets helped up here by Wither and Stealing over on the side. No team wants to be the one to make the mistake here. Here comes the tire out from the jump, but Mikey takes it down with a charge shot. And down also gets him with a slow orb. With a Junkrat gone, Immortality Field forced. Purple Jesus walks on forward. Finds multiple kills, potentially gets another one. War with this boot, but might just have staggered him out here. He's just hiding over the Mega on the mini, trying to get anything done, trying to get out. Looks like War will eventually escape. But now look at it. Support ult and Shatter for Chinchillas. They can do this.
This is definitely winnable for both teams. There's enough time on the time bank to where the Villains could push through, but the Chinchillas have really shown up on this last part.
Shatter again here from Purple Jesus. They're going all the way around. Overclock off from Cupcake over on the side, trying to force out Real Dog silent, but Real Dog has up with a beat. The pin is one to Yoda, though. It can't quite get Purple Jesus off the side. The Shatter does find a shield, but Within will throw down on the ground. They have the nano over Purple Jesus, goes over on the point, and just starts swinging, trying to build up this Shatter for the next round here. Cupcake does get Charvatron. It's still turnable here. Yoda close to the Shadow, but Skyster trying to do anything here to help the team. Real Dog goes off angle, could potentially get something done. Real Dog does find one. Can Real Dog clutch up here? It's 1-on-2. The sleep is gonna miss. Launch in the air. Can supports be there in time? No help. And they capture with 1 minute and 5 seconds left. They will not get a chance. On the attack, the Chinchillas can now only hope for a draw.
And they do have to hope for that draw, and also we've seen that both teams haven't really been able to defend first point very well at all. So we will see if they're able to push through with ease, or if they hold their defenses strong for this map win.
It is only 1 minute, so basically one fight. If Mikey can find a pick early on the Sojourn, potentially turnable here. Real Dog's going to actually start over on the Ana this time. Maybe looking for a big anti-nade to potentially turn the fight in their favor. No Immortality Field, so Pro G's got to play this one a lot slower than possibly he would with the Baptiste, but they're playing for this anti-nade to win this fight here. It could work wonders, or it could be disastrous. Really, either or.
Yoda going on to the Monkey. Are they going in for a dive?
Potentially wanting to avoid, a May pick here from Skyster getting an early pick. They go the dive just to take control of this high ground, get the positioning around point. And no, they swept right back to the brawl that was working for them. They had no interest in playing the dive here in Kings Row, which honorable.
They were showing it off to scare them from the top window, it appears. There you go.
Cupcake tries to take advantage of this high ground, the slide, gets stuck in the slow orb, but still has this positioning here on the high ground. Does make Mikey have to play a little safer, but Mikey, speaking of, finds the opening pick. And with that Junkrat gone, the Villains have to get out quick. They don't want to get staggered out here. Purple Jesus and Mikey are on these separate angles. They're going to get smushed here if they're not careful. They got to get out or die quick. Because we're entering last fight territory. Yoda is very up high on the high ground.
Yoda's attacking the back line.
He slept. He's burning. He's getting shot by Skyser. This is very awkward right now for the Villains. There are 3 people getting smushed on here in the main choke. Oh, but Purple Jesus falls. It's gonna be 1-for-1 with the tank gone. The advantage could be huge here. As another peel comes in here, Mikey tries to clutch up here. Mikey and Skycer on the point, but Mikey falls. It's just Skycer going on into the point, but Cupcake is there to help with the supports. Real Dog is just trying to pump him full. Pro Jesus has it turned over on the wrecking ball. They get Real Dog over on the phone booth. Burning up is going to be Cupcake. Potentially trouble against Pro Jesus. Putting in some work. It's just the ball on point. Trying to do anything right now. Stay as long as possible. But the spawns are here right now for the Vancouver Villains. Esrath 1 HP. They get the Joker, but he cannot touch the point.
No, there's no touch.
He goes off for just 1 second, and that's all the Villains needed. And now they're at match point.
That is, yeah, the really awkward split from Joda and his Lucio going off on his own thing. Oh, get to see that beautiful shatter again. But yeah, that very awkward split really the Chinchillas weren't able to collapse onto either side and just sort of got paralyzed, and unfortunately their Rhine fell, and that was the beginning of the downfall.
With that being said, the Chinchillas holding on to potential life here as they are down 2-1 in the series. Vancouver Villains do not go anywhere. Royal Overwatch Clash continues after this. And welcome back, everybody, to the Overwatch Clash Week 6 game between the Vancouver Villains and the Chernobyl Chinchillas. We're going on in to a potential final map here, as the Villains have currently a 2-0 lead going on into Ilios.
And we're starting off on my first personal favorite point of Ilios, the well.
I think everybody kind of likes the well. It's a much different map type, or I guess, much different comp style usually on this map compared to the other ones of Ilios. You can play a brawler style on Lighthouse as well as Ruins. It kind of works, but it's more down there by snipers. The well is just the funny one. You play the Roadhog, you play the Lucio, and there's the Roadhog.
The well is very chaotic. Almost every single type of strategy can work on this point, which is really special, honestly. It's not very often that you can get every single type working relatively decently. But we do have Purple Jesus onto the Monkey.
Also, good to note here that Shittyfish has returned to the Vancouver Villas. Didn't worry, buddy. He wasn't missing. But he's coming in for support, actually, here. Going to play the Brigitte. Which is interesting because, he's more of a hog enjoyer himself, so how this actually goes on here. Purple Jesus dives on in with the help of the bubble. Big nade from Real Dog for the follow-up.
Oh.
And speaking of follow-up, the Chinchillas are putting a lot of pressure here over on the villains, and they're forced to retreat. And it looks like the first capture point will go over to the Chinchillas for now.
Indeed, yeah. They were able to, with Mikey and Riddle both hitting the stickies and the nade, just able to really burst down that cluster of villains. Able to capitalize on it, and Purple Jesus jumping in.
And Cupcake down with the dive there, coming out from Skycer and Purple Jesus from those high ground splits. We do have a hook force as well out from Yoda. Brigitte is going to heal right on inside the little room, but now Srath's in a bit of an awkward position here. Split from the squad, trying to get help in the team. We do have a nade land onto Withering, but a nade onto Skycer and Purple Jesus very weak. Purple Jesus 1 HP and now 0 as Real Dog and Purple Jesus are now gone. Skycer as well. Srath goes on into the back with the Tracer, finding 2. And now Charbotron, not long first world, as Srath with a 3rd.
Oh, that was a nasty hook.
And Mikey down. Flip for the villains, and only duplicate used there between both their teams. A lot of teams are going to have ults here for his recontest.
Yeah, there are quite a few ults being built up on both sides. And once the ult fights begin, that's when the chaos really starts.
Srath does go in over to Real Dog, but the sleep is forced, but Cupcake finds a headshot. They do exchange out, though, so we could potentially see a res coming up from Charbotron over onto Real Dog. They are going to get that, so it is a 5-on-4 advantage.
That is what Mercy is for.
Purple Jesus using that bubble to stave off the hook there from Yoda. The Nano comes out onto Purple Jesus as well, so Winston, he's going to have quite a bit of pressure. He has the Primal Rage as well, but Real Dog has fallen in the back. It is kind of back and forth affair right now, as they do have Purple Jesus in the Primal Rage form, but getting a whole hogged away right now by Yoda. The point still in favor of the Vancouver Villains. And Cupcake has his overclock, potentially seal the deal. Still very even fight right now. No pace coming in either side right now. Very slow fight. The hook not gonna land on Chartron. Got the movement skills too good. Shittyfish does have this rally. If they decide to get back to point before the flip, it is still in favor of the Vancouver Villains. It looks like it stay that way. As now we do finally have the Chinchillas returning to the point. The hook does land, and Srath cleans up the final blow. They're going to guard this body with their lives as Shittyfish uses that rally to really stave off these any last-second attackers. Hold that. Stun did not quite land there. The recall does come out from Skycer. We'll stay alive for just a couple more seconds here. And they get Srath. This point's chaotic. I can't let you talk as a color caster. They're just going back and forth. Yoda's in the back line right now, getting beamed down by Mikey. PJ has returned to the point. They use the pulse rod from Skyster. Mikey finds a kill Shittyfish with those mines. And just all this chaos, the Chinchillas have brought it back in their favor.
Yeah, Chinchilla's also getting that res onto Skycer, so now they are all there and ready. Yeah, that fight was very scrappy. Both teams having members all around the map and so many many little duels going on. This poor Riddle was getting bullied a little bit as well.
Makes us swap over onto the Kiriko though, so a lot less susceptible to being bullied here.
Yeah.
And Mikey swaps over on the Ana anyway, so they get a free 8-8 this fight without their own. They're not going to get a kill off it, but 20% towards a Nano Boost. It's going to be Mikey does have it. Lands it on in over on Purple Jesus, but they've lost Srath in the meantime. They've lost Skycer. They exchange out for the Withering, however, so lose out for an Ana for a Tracer. Not a bad trade at all. But losing your Purple Jesus at 99% to the Primal Rage could be huge. The Kasune Rush as well as the hit from Mercy keeps Mikey alive through the chain hook, but He's looking kind of scared right now. Srath does have this pulse bomb and decides to throw it on in. Will play a bit slow. No, goes on in for the stick. Is not going to find any sticks, but finds a kill. 9% of the Valkyrie there, just so close. These opens as the Chinchillas. Pearl Jesus has to turn the fight with the Primal Rage, but Srath is going ballistic right now. Finding multiple kills. Cupcake falls on up with one. And now just Mikey stuck inside the cages with no mercy to help him. Forced to retreat. Purple Jesus with the Primal Rage staying there for as long as possible. But now, here comes Lucia off from Charbotron. But not long for this point, as Mikey is low as well, goes on down. And despite the initial capture, it's going to be the Vancouver Villains flipping this back in their favor and taking our point one of Ilios.
Yeah, that was a very, very scrappy fights the entire time. I could practically hear PJ pressing Q all the way from here, trying to get that rage off at 99%. It was very unfortunate.
Yeah, very, very close. I mean, if he gets that rage off, they might be able to flip that in their favor pretty handily. And now you're going over on the Ruins, which plays a lot more in kind of a sniper style, you could say, or a long-range hit scan. But you have Cupcake. Does he stick with the Widow or go back to the Soj here? We'll have to see.
They're going out on the Widow. Oh, nope. Going back to the Soj.
I think a lot less susceptible to a potential dive if you're expecting that. You have the slide.
Yeah.
You have your slow. And I mean, Sojourn is still also very good long range, so it's nothing to complain about. And also Yoda makes up over on Junker Queen, so this comp makes a lot more sense now with this tank selection. Mikey's taking over onto this Echo, trying to put in some work, but Purple Jesus will find a pretty rough time here, finding a target to dive, as Mikey's first to fall.
Oh.
Looks like they're going for the run, but Srath might be there. The Suzu is perfectly timed from Riddle Dog. And in the meantime, Skycer's gone in the backline, and both Purple Jesus and Skycer found the backline for the villains. They exchange on a Purple Jesus, but Skycer is still there, putting in some work on this Tracer. Was bully out Cupcake here for a second over on this Mega, but the point will flip here for the Chinchillas early, despite losing that first member.
Indeed, yeah. They got that very, very nice res with the Suzu to secure it, and while the rest of the team was able to pick off the backline there, that was able to really secure it. We got Yoda's popping off onto Diva now as well.
Like that pick, putting some more pressure over onto Mike in the sky as well. They forced out a slide early from Cupcake though, so they could take advantage of that, but Skycer tried to take advantage of it, like I said, but it's nothing but the end of a railgun.
Oh.
As now they're going to go on in and find Chartron as well. 2 picks here, just Purple G's with the bubble trying to do anything here. Cupcake on top of the high ground is going to get picked off here, but Yoda has found both supports with the Mech's Fists. And Purple G is not too long for that point. Mikey might try to get out, but it looks like he's going to get staggered out here on the coastline. Sent back to early vacation there, Mikey. Take your PTO. And gone they go.
An unfortunate stagger for Mikey, but yeah, that Diva was definitely able to put in the work there, being able to fly around and really, really secure the rest of their team.
Cupcake making swap over on the Cassidy here, put some more pressure on Mikey, potentially more consistent pressure in the sky. But I mean, the Sojourn was working, and we'll have to see how this goes. The Hinder is going to land over on the Purple G's, and he dies where he can use the Primal Rage. Just melted immediately. Can't pop that ultimate, can't keep the sustain up, and now the Chinchillas have to reset again. And the point, advantage will go over towards the villains here in terms of percentage.
That is unfortunate. Yoda is going in. He gets out though.
Purple Jesus has a turn though, so it's not the end of the world. He's already there.
Yeah.
Already put some work on in. Skycer does have this pulse bomb, does land it on the Witherin. A good start here for the Chinchillas. The rally comes out here from a Shady Fish Key team, nice and healthy. Chartron falling very low here. Chartron 1 HP and now make that 0. As it's still an even fight, but Purple Jesus as the Primal Rage expires. Goes on down. Shady Fish just bullying out Skycer on this Tracer, trying to stay alive as long as possible, being the only support on the team. Skycer is there, blinks onto the point, trying to put some pressure on, but forced to retreat. Now they have Kiriko trying to get away half HP, but does have the TP to get back to the squad. And now it's last fight territory, and you're going to have a lot else to use here on both sides.
Riddle also picked off S-Wrath with the good old Kiri Dink under the Tracer, so that was saving his own life.
Kusina Rush on to point, has a TP early. High Noon out from Cupcake, but not going to find too much of that. Charbotron pops that Valkyrie, going to exchange, but both supports gone for the Vancouver Villains. As the dive looks to come through with the help of Kusina Rush to put some pressure on in.
Supports are gone.
I mean, I don't think it's terrible here, but Yoda's invested in the mech, invested in the bomb, and not going to get anything for that. And the point did flip in the meantime. And now Srath, low, has his pulse bomb. Do they decide to stick it here? No, it looks like you're going to try to get back to the health of the team, get some support.
Sweet, sweet big packs.
Break back,
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah, it seems that the Chinchillas were able to really, really get the picks that they needed and apply pressure where necessary in that.
Oh, the pulse bomb 6 from Skycer. Getting a shitty fish out of the fight is very nice. Especially now you get both supports there for... And then with 3 picks, it's basically last fight territory. They might not even get a full recontest here as the team is now Yoda gets staggered out of the mech. Cupcake down as well. It's going to be desperation touches here for the side of the villains. We're going to a point 3, it looks like. Strath might get the touch here. It is 92%. Has 8% here. It also has all of his blinks.
Yep.
Looks like he will get on in there. Forced to recall. But the team will be there for the touch. He gets a Jess at the last second. But Cupcake is very low. As well as Witherin.
Oh.
Meant to say shitty fish, but losing both their supports here for the Vancouver Villains is looking pretty rough here. Yoda exchanges out for 1, but loses out on Cupcake's help on the Sombra. Strath tries to work magic with the Pulse Bomb and finds nothing but air. Then now the Tracer blinks in and tries to do anything here, but the duplicate. Mikey on Tracer duplicate. Very scary phrase. Almost builds Pulse Bomb instantly. And we're going to a point 3 of Ilios. The Chinchillas are not done just yet.
Yeah, Chinchillas were able to show that they are not out of this fight, not out of this game yet. They are still trying, and they're still forcing in to win. We have a Nutty in the chat saying that it's all over for the villains because Charlie said she's gonna start trying. So we'll see how scary that ends up being.
I mean, she's had some game-changing reses here on the Mercy, kind of her signature character, you know, known for that Mercy. Does play Lucio as well, but I think when you get Charbotron on this Mercy, something she's very comfortable with, you get Mikey that blue beam, it's very dangerous. The Chinchillas might have found an answer, but might have been a little bit too late here as we go to our 3rd point of Ilios. They got to keep this up here, keep up this poise, keep up this tempo, and bring it back. But Cupcake swaps over onto the Ash here to yet again try to put pressure on Mikey. Mikey's very weak, but will get healed up, as well as build up towards that duplicate very quickly here. Yoda on the hog yet again for Lighthouse. Looks to be approaching his life a living hell. Good opening pick there from Mikey over on his opposite number. Taking down S-Rath. No mercy pocket for Srath here on the Echo. So, big advantage here for Mikey in terms of that. As Mikey goes in and Mikey finds both supports as well. Mikey with 3 this fight looking for a 4th over on the Cupcake. Looks like it might not get it as Pro Juice looks to steal it. It's going to happen, but the Chinchillas again take early advantage.
Yeah, the Chinchillas were... Purple Jesus was able to wait until Yoda dropped, and then the sports got cut off without the Hog having any vertical mobility. He wasn't able to get back up there and help, so he kind of just had to waddle over to point all on his own.
Purple Jesus is straight chilling.
Yes, look at him go.
Finally drops on down. They do see they're coming from the TP. Actually, switch over to the Sim. Doesn't really matter if you lose on a shitty fish early in the fight. So that Brig gone, not too much you can really do in terms of fighting this point. They do have Srath trying to put some pressure on the Tracer, but forced to retreat without the Squadron. And now Shifty coming on back slowly from spawn. But the ults are building here for the Chinchillas. They're very close, potentially unleashing a huge ult fight.
Yeah, indeed. The villains don't really have any ults coming up. They'll have Pulse pretty soon, but it'll probably be in the middle of the fight.
The Pulse stick is going to land, but it's a 2 for 2 right now as Yoda on point. Lose out on take a breather. But Cupcake has found Charbotron, so it's a very sturdy team comp here on the point with the Roadhog. With the Symmetra, Strath has turned the fight as well, close to this Pulse Bomb. They decide to need it. Purple Jesus, 4% support, but does have it just in time.
Oh.
As Skycer has turned the fight as well. Finding out on Cupcake, and now Purple Jesus can just survive on point for as long as possibly can. Potentially getting the boop off the map on a Tracer for Purple Jesus to juggle. No chance for Strath. As now it's last fight territory.
Made sure that he was able to really push him off. He was trying so hard. Both of them tried so hard to get each other off that ledge. There's a big TP.
The TP again over on the point here, but Mikey duplicates the Ana. The anti's going to land on multiple members. Gets taken out of the floor immediately, but Witherin succumbs to the pressure The sim wall just in time to stop Mikey's Echo Beam for getting too much work done, but it is still a very even fight. With Shittyfish out of the battle, though, no supports for the villains on point. Purple Genius is gone, but Srath forced a recall. Yoda putting in some work right now over on the point, as it might flip finally here for them, as it's just the Echo and the Mercy here. As Charlie get out with her life, not meant to be.
Oh.
But you only use duplicate there. You only use Valkyrie. Now at the end of the world, coming with some big ultimates here for the Chinchillas.
Chinchillas do have quite a few nice ults coming up. Yoda also with Whole Hog, especially inside of the lighthouse. Whole Hog can be very, very devastating, especially against a monkey. Esrath also with Pulse off on the far right, being a little cheeky dude.
Try and get this kind of a smush going on here as Proteus takes that high ground. Casino Rush on in. The Maywall stops the initial engage. And now the Whole Hog is there to follow up as well. They use the Coalescence on top of this as well. Loses out on Mikey's life. The hook on a Charbotron. Yoda finding the duo in the sky. Yoda with a third here. Purple Jizz was able to build up that Primal Razo in this battle. But Yoda finds all kills that fight. And now you're going to have Beat. You're going to have Pulse Bomb. It could be turnable here.
Yeah, Yoda's able to get those hooks and just completely and totally displace every member of their team with Whole Hog and able to finish off the rest of them.
Srath is going up the stairs right now, but Real Dog does sniff that out. Stops the tracer pressure from going too much in here. They do have the Pulse Bomb if they decide to land it. Look, it's going to land. Goes off the map. The Beat from Witherin keeps the team nice and healthy through that duplicate. Real Dog 1 HP, Real Dog 0. Goes down. Kidness out the resurrection. It does look like they're putting pressure on a Charbotron, but she's still alive for just a second. Goes on down. Cupcake has Blizzard. Do they need it? It is last fight territory here, basically. As 10% and counting here. Mikey is there for the touch potentially, but goes on down. And now with 10%. Who can touch this point? Real Dog on the Moira. Trying to fade in. Looks like he's going to get it in time. Yes, he will. But has no fade to fight out Cupcake on the point. The Pulse Bomb not going to find anything there from Skycer. Proju's back on the Wrecking Ball. We saw King's Row almost work a miracle here. But this would be an absurd miracle. Swings on in. The wall from Cupcake stops this disengage from Purple Jesus.
Oh.
And that's going to do it here. The Chernobyl Chinchillas are going to fall 3-0 to the Vancouver Villains in a very hard-fought battle on every map.
Yeah, each and every map was very, very close, even though it was a 3-0. It was not an easy fight. It was not an easy game at all. Both teams did very well here.
And now I believe it's officially a win-out situation here for the Chinchillas to make the playoffs. With this loss, they have to win out and get some help from opposing teams, but they still have a chance. I don't believe they're officially eliminated, but we'll have to wait and see how things kind of work out here. But now we are going to have to give a player of the match here, and I have a pretty decent idea of who I want to give it to, but I'll listen up to you here first.
Man, there was a Cupcake was doing a lot of work, quite a bit of the time. There was a lot of times in which he really popped off. Yoda also had quite the showing on a few maps, having quite a few very, very big ultimates and a couple of ones that were a little questionable, but when they hit, they really did hit. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my choice was Yoda. I think Cupcake had a couple of fights where it popped off, but I think Yoda's just consistency, especially on Ilios on the Roadhog, Reinhardt on King's Row, really sold it for me. I mean, after that, the first map, when he threw in some rampages down like 8 people who he had a question, but still got the dub at the end of the day. Still go ahead and bring him in for a quick interview.
Kings. Oh,
and
hello?
There he is, the player of the match. Congratulations, Yoda, on the 3-0 dub. I posed you a challenge earlier today. I said that Shittyfish might have taken your hymn, but I think after tonight you took it back, my guy. Congratulations on the win.
Oh, thank you. I was actually really worried about it during the game. I was like, well, he said that earlier, so I gotta, get him back for it.
It's like you can't let Shitty come in and upstage you yet again. He did come in at map 3 and get the dub, but you were in for all 3 this time, so you're officially, back on the I don't know really what to say here, but you're back in.
I'm out of purgatory.
Indeed. So we're going to. I mean, I'll let Ninja Drew ask the first question, but what you got there, Drew?
There were quite a few fights in which it was very, very close the entire match, and quite a few fights that were really, really scrappy. So, what was the plan going into the fights that were more planned out, and how did you turn the scrappy fights into victories?
Well, for the fights that were kind of planned out, we would sort of talk about where we wanted to play. We'd talk about their ults. We made sure to keep the ult tracking nice and good. In fights that were pretty scrappy, I guess it was sort of just get your kills. I was sort of just
get yours. What a great plan.
I was kind of just like pressing left click on them. I guess that's really about it. That third match, we were kind of just playing in that crate while they tried to dive us, but they couldn't because we're on the big pig.
And now, speaking of getting yours and pressing left click, there were a few fights where you pressed Q down like 4 people on map 1. Was there any plan going behind that, or I think I can clutch this up down 4 members with a rampage here?
I'm different. I'm different. That's all I can really say. I'm different.
Still different.
And speaking of different, if we had to select a different MVP of this game, if you could not be MVP, who would you select from your team and why?
Definitely S-Wrath. Always solid, like super solid on DPS. I mean, there's not really a game where I'm like feeling like I need more when I need it. So he's usually the breaking point, I feel like, for most fights. I mean, sometimes I'll get my kills, but I think he really is like number 2 in every single fight, if not number 1.
Now, can you confirm, is it S-Wrath or is it Srath?
I say S-Wrath. I think his Discord is actually like nickname, but hey, I'm going with S-Wrath.
I think we'll never know. Because after every stream with him on, the casters get some stuff in the chat, for saying S-Wrath rather than Srath, so we need to know, but he remains silent as just nickname and leave us in torture. But again, congrats on the victory, my man. We'll send it back to your team, and good luck rest of the season.
Thanks.
There you go.
All right, that's gonna do for us here at the Aurora Overwatch Clash. Week 6 matchup between the Chinchillas and the Vancouver Villains. Any closing statements from you there, Ninja Drew, before we send ourselves out?
Be safe. Have a good night.
You did it wrong, actually. It's stay safe, stay healthy, and have a great rest of your evening, everybody.